Hi there, kids. It's me, Miss Booksy. One of the most notorious villains is back. Can you guess who? Nope, it's not Ray Blank, or Grace Kale, or even Captain Hooksy. Yikes! It's the Big Bad Wolf. Let's watch all our episodes with the Big Bad Wolf.
It worked. Okay, once upon a time, a little girl named Little Red Riding Hood, that's me, was packing a nice dinner to take to her grandma's house. My grandma was sick, and even though I had to walk a mile, I was ready to help my grandma because that's what good kids do, right? I packed up a sweet dinner, liver and onions and peas. Yeah! Oh, you don't like that? Okay then, fruit roll-ups, some pizza, ice cream, and 4 Twinkies. Yeah! Okay, good choices. Now, there's only one good way to get to Grandma's. It's right through the scariest forest you can imagine.
That's not scary.
Oh, my bad. Better?
Yay!
Good. Whoa, but then someone or something snatched my red hood. And snatched my basket of delicious snacks. I'd been robbed. Kids, robbed by a wolf. I said a wolf. And the wolf was wearing my red hood. That's a little girl's hood. He could stretch it out, the darn wolf. And he just looked silly, too. Then he spoke.
What is a little girl like you doing all by herself in the woods like this?
Going to my grandma's house, if it's any of your business. And it's not, so please give me back my stuff.
Aren't you a sassy lassie? Maybe I will go to your grandmother's house and eat her. What do you think about that? Put some sauce on her, maybe some ketchup or mayonnaise, I don't know.
Oh, no, you won't. You're not putting mayonnaise on my grandma. I yelled and I kicked, but the wolf ran off. And wolves can run pretty fast, even when they're wearing little girl's red coat that doesn't fit quite right. I had to get to Grandma's and fast. There was a dangerous wolf in the woods, so I ran.
Faster!
Run faster? Okay. We're here at Grandma's house. Let me in, Grandma. There's a dang wolf outside in the woods, and he's stealing little girl's clothes and parading around, and this time, he's wearing my grandma's nightgown and sleeping cap. He even had on a pair of her high heels. And he was licking his paws, just like he'd eaten a snack. Or maybe, my grandma, what can I do? He's a wolf. But I had an idea. It was a good idea. I ran, and I ran, and ran, and ran, and ran, and ran really, really fast. Okay.
Like a cheetah!
Like a cheetah? What's that sound? It's like a clack, 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 clack. Is that the Big Bad Wolf? And he's still wearing my grandma's high heels. And you'll understand one day, it's impossible to run in high heels. Then, right there, with his twisted ankle and his belly full of my grandma, he started to get sick. It was really gross. The Big Bad Wolf threw up.
Ew!
He threw up all over the place. He threw up my grandma. Oh, don't worry, she was fine, not a scratch. He threw up all the fruit roll-ups and the ice cream and the pizza and the Twinkies.
I don't feel so good.
It was gross. But it gave me and Grandma time to get away. We called the police and the firemen and animal control, Dog the Bounty Hunter, and everybody we could think of. And I'm happy to tell you the wolf was caught and sold to the circus. And now, every year since, Grandma and I go to the circus when it comes to town just to laugh at the Big Bad Wolf. He doesn't know any tricks or anything, but it's just funny to see a big old wolf wearing high heels.
Maybe I will go to your grandmother's house and eat her.
We called the police and the firemen and animal control, Dog the Bounty Hunter, and everybody we could think of. And I'm happy to tell you the wolf was caught and sold to the circus. Well, my grandma and I go every time it's in town, and it just happens to be in town today. Lucky you. Follow me, I'll show you around. Ooh, look, it's the clown car. Guess how many clowns can fit in one tiny car?
4?
Nope.
11?
No, that's a pretty good guess, but it's 24 whole clowns.
1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6,
7, 8, 9,
10, 11, 12,
13, 14,
15, 16,
17, 18, 19, 21,
22, 23, 24. That's like the highest number there is.
There's Octavio, the guitar-playing octopus. Cool!
Hey there, Little Red Riding Hood. Any requests?
Nope, just your usual. Ooh, look at this. This is new. A man eating chicken. Scary. It looks like it's starting.
Oh yeah. Oh, chicken's my favorite.
Oh, I get it. A man eating chicken. You got me. Oh, kids, there he is. The ferocious wolf that ate my grandma. I gotta admit, he's great on the tightrope. Still wearing those heels, too. Wow, the wolf's got skills. And what's that under the tightrope? It looks like delicious mac and cheese, you know? The gooey, cheesy kind your mom makes? Maybe with a little breadcrumb topping, 3-cheese blend. But no, that's cold. Macaroni noodles and mayonnaise. Like the stuff people bring to potlucks. Ugh, more like pot yuck. You're doing great, Wolfie. Stay focused.
Huh? Whoa!
You gotta stay focused. There's my favorite circus act, 5 Little Monkeys. They jump on those trampolines like crazy. Don't worry, if they fall off, there's a doctor right there.
How you doing?
Hey, look, it's Jack, the flame jumper. He gets better every time I see him. The flame swallower. Talk about heartburn. And finally, no circus would be complete without an amazing juggler. That's right, kids. I'm a wicked good juggler. I'm the big bad wolf. Oh! Isn't my costume awesome? I look just like that silly old wolf who thought he'd eat my grandma. She's gonna think this is hilarious. Oh, look at me, I'm the big bad wolf who stinks like cheese. Oh man, I'm definitely gonna win the costume contest this year. But meanwhile,
And voila! I look just like that silly little girl who thought she could get rid of me. Look at me! I'm Little Red Riding Hood. I'm so annoying. I think I'm the best at everything. Well, we'll see who's the best when I win the costume contest. Ha ha ha.
Yep, it was a classic Halloween switcheroo. Let's talk about this costume contest. Every year, the town had a big carnival, and the person with the winning costume got a huge prize. This year, it's a Segway. You know, the thingies that you ride around on. I want to win it for my grandma so she can go anywhere she wants.
Woohoo!
But first, time to trick or treat. Trick or treat. Trick or treat. Trick or treat! It's the most wonderful time of the year. Was that? No, it couldn't be. The real big bad wolf was captured long ago. There's no way he escaped. But little did Little Red know, the big bad wolf was on the prowl. And he was being very bad indeed. He stole candies from babies. He knocked over Old Man Jenkins' jack-o'-lanterns.
Hey!
He even drank all of Granny Smith's prize-winning apple cider.
You rascal!
The big bad wolf was all trick and no treat. The townspeople loved Halloween and this mutt was ruining it.
You're ruining Halloween.
But the very last straw was when he ate Granny Smith.
Let me out of here this instant.
Yeah, remember? The big bad wolf totally had a thing for eating grandmas.
Hello, Sheriff. It's me, Jenkins.
Old Man Jenkins, how are you?
Well, doing all right. But we've got a situation. A wolf dressed as a girl just ate Granny Smith.
A girl dressed as a wolf just ate Granny Smith?
Yes. Wait, no. It was a...
We're on it.
Hello?
While all this was going down, Little Red Riding Hood was getting more and more frightened that the big bad wolf was in town. I had to go pick up my grandma before the carnival. Unfortunately, the only way to get there is through the super spooky woods. Extra spooky when it's Halloween, and there might be a big bad wolf on the prowl. The word had gotten out about Granny Smith, and now the whole town was looking for the culprit.
Arrest her!
It's her!
She's the one who ate Granny Smith! I saw it myself!
I'm innocent! I didn't do it! Little Red Riding Hood was in jail for eating poor old Granny Smith. It's a total mix-up. I didn't eat anybody. It's the big bad wolf who did it.
Yeah? Then why were you hiding? Looking like a stuffed Thanksgiving goose.
A, I was hiding because I was scared. B, I was stuffed with Halloween candy, not a sweet old lady. What am I, an animal? And C, I think you mean a Thanksgiving turkey. Who eats goose?
Well, okay, Smarty. How come you fit the exact description of the perp?
I'm not a perp! Wait, what's a perp?
Perpetrator. The one who is guilty. The girl dressed like a wolf, aka you.
It was the big bad wolf, and now he's out there running around. Little Red Riding Hood was right. The big bad wolf was still out there, and he was heading straight for Grandma's house.
Trick or treat! Hello, Grandma.
Oh my, what a wonderful costume. You look just like that old wolf.
Why, thank you.
And you sound exactly like him.
Go on.
You even smell just like him. Gee, what a stinker. Uh-oh.
Hey, don't I get a phone call? I want to call my grandma.
That's sweet.
Thank you. Hello, Grandma? Grandma, it's an emergency. I'm in jail. Long story, but I have to warn you, the big bad wolf is back.
Oh, hello, Little Red Riding Hood. So good to hear from you.
It's the wolf. Sheriff, the wolf is at my grandma's. Oh, you better not eat my grandma, you mangy mutt. He hung up. Rude. Sheriff, let's go get that wolf. That's it. I'm busting out. Now, how do I do that? If I throw this, I can drag the keys toward me. Oh, great idea, me. Bullseye! Bullseye. Adios, sleepyhead. I gotta go fight some crime. Ooh, better fuel up first. Little Red Riding Hood ran all the way to her grandma's house. It was dark and scary, but she was too determined, too brave to be frightened. Okay, I was a little scared until I realized it was just part of my grandma's Halloween decorations. I made it. Time to save Grandma. Yeah! Oh, Wolfie, I'm home.
Little Red, help!
Nice costume. Now let my grandma go.
No way.
Do it, you stinky wolf.
Do I really smell so bad? That's the second comment today. Hey!
Ha! Gotcha! And yeah, you smell like cheese.
Let me go!
This time, you're going to jail.
Yoo-hoo! Don't forget about me!
Granny Smith, is that you in there?
Oh, right! And you spit out Granny Smith this instant!
Okay, fine.
Heavens to Betsy! It was dark in there!
Little Red Riding Hood dragged the big bad wolf all the way back to the jail. There's your perp, Sheriff. A wolf dressed as a girl, not the other way around. Hide these so he doesn't get out, okay? See you later, Wolfie. I gotta go win that costume contest.
And first prize, a brand new Segway, goes to Little Red Riding Hood for her wolf costume. Sorry about the mix-up earlier.
No problem, Mr. Jenkins. It happens. Grandma, come try out your new Segway. Woo-hoo! Let's break out the candy. Halloween party time! And that's the story of how Little Red Riding Hood defeated the big bad wolf and saved Halloween.
It's time for a brand new adventure with Drew Pendis and his Mighty Penultimate. In today's episode, Drew's got to fight something big to save something little. It was story time at Cool School, and Drew and his buddies couldn't wait to read one of their favorite stories ever.
Oh, hey kids! Today we have a very exciting story to read, Little Red Riding Hood. Let's get started. Once upon a time, there was a cute little girl. Everyone called her Little Red Riding Hood because she always wore a... Wait a second. Something doesn't look right here.
Well, that's Little Red Riding Hood, all right. But why isn't she wearing red?
I guess we could just call her Little Riding Hood.
No. That's not how the story goes. I've got to figure out what's going on here.
With story time on the line, Drew got right into costume. Then he sketched the portal and jumped right into Miss Booksy's storybook.
Sure is spooky out here. Oh no, my cape! Help! Hold on! Drupendus to the rescue!
Oh, I wasn't expecting to see a young boy. It's mostly grandmas and scary wolves around here.
I heard you scream. Did you need help with something?
Yes! This scary villain lady just came out of nowhere and stole my red cape. She said something about loving colors. And she had this really cool color vacuum thing.
Loves colors and has a color vacuum. I know who your problem is. Ray's Kale. And she's not gonna get away with this.
Oh, thank goodness! I need that cape. Kinda hard to be Little Red Riding Hood without the Red Riding Hood part.
Well, if I were a girl in a red cape in a forest, where would I go?
Oh, how about Grandma's cottage? That's where I like to go anyway.
Good call. Here. Hop on.
Whoa, cool.
And off Drew rode with Little Red deep into the dark, scary forest until they reached Grandma's cottage. Then they peeked through the windows.
There, that's her. And that's my cape. And that's my grandma, I think.
Come over here, dearie. Come to Grandma.
You like have a really deep voice for an old lady?
The better to greet you with.
And like really big eyes.
The better to see you with.
Uh-oh, I know where this is going, and it's not good. Stop right there, both of you.
Drew? Ugh.
What do you want, kid? I was just about to eat my dinner.
We want my cape back.
Another one? Where do you kids keep coming from?
You can't just steal people's capes, Grace.
Oh yeah? And who's gonna stop me?
I am, the Stupendous, on behalf of my fellow caped crusaders.
Ha! Well, I'm like not impressed, so scrap.
I hereby demand that you return Little Red's cape immediately.
Yeah, what he said.
Or else.
Ah! Well, when you put it that way, got a jet. Till next time, Drufus. BTW, you guys have some like great colors in your outfits. We gotta talk.
We sure got her bad this time.
That was awesome!
Man, this thing is tight.
Thanks for sketching me this awesome hoverboard, Drew. She totally fell for it.
Wait a minute. I have to eat someone. Grandma doesn't want to be hungry.
I think I got a better idea.
I'm on it.
So Drew ran outside and sketched a full moon in the sky.
I told you wolves like to do that. Animal Kingdom 101.
Looks like he'll be busy for a while.
You guys are the best! Couldn't have gotten my cape back without you.
Nothing can stop us. Except maybe that guy. We better head out while he's still distracted.
Yeah, and Miss Booksy will be waiting to finish story time. Thanks, you guys.
Anytime, Red. Now you better go find Grandma. Something tells me she'll be needing your help.
Once upon a time, there was a cute little girl. Everyone called her Little Red Riding Hood because she always wore red. And there it is, her red cape. You did it, Drew. You saved the story.
That's what superheroes do.
Well, kids, Drew and his buddies saved the day once again. Little Red got her cape back, and storytime was right back on track. Moral of the story, boys and girls, always be wary of big bad wolves dressed as your grandma. And don't forget your cape next time you gotta fight off the bad guys.
So, once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs who lived at home with their mother. The time came when the pigs weren't so little anymore, and their mom decided to buy a condo and move to Florida, where she could play pig knuckle with her friends by the pool. She told the pigs, "It's time you set out for the real world and find homes of your own. I'll send you a postcard." So off they went. The first pig found a nice location and decided to build his own house. He'd heard of building huts with straw, so he went shopping for some. Target had a huge sale on crazy straws, so he bought all they had and commenced to building. It turned out to be a really neat looking house, although it leaked a lot when it rained. But it was very pretty. The second pig decided he should use sticks to build his house. He bought popsicles in bulk at Costco, and after a 2-day feast of ice pops and a lot of brain freeze, he began his house of sticks. It turned out okay. The walls were thin, but they smelled like fruity popsicles. The third pig was never one to cut corners, and he found a good contractor to build his home. Hiring a contractor and a construction crew was expensive. It took almost all his money, but he wanted a home that would last. The other pigs made fun of him and bragged about how much money they had in their banks. That's right, piggy banks. But the third little pig moved into his new brick house and was quite content. Well, maybe a little lonely. Yep, that night the bad old wolf went out on the prowl looking for a snack. He had seen the little pigs building their houses and thought he'd stop by uninvited. He arrived at the first pig's house. He snarled,
Little pig, let me in.
The pig called out, "Who is it?"
I'm just a nice old lady. I'm lost. Let me in.
No, that's a wolf!
You sound like a big bad wolf, so not by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down.
Go ahead and try. I built it myself, then. The wolf blew down the house with a little huff and puff just like that. Let's watch that on instant replay. And boom goes the dynamite. The little pig hightailed it to his brother's house made of sticks, and that bad old wolf followed him. There was a knock on the door.
Little pig, let me in.
It's the wolf.
No, I'm just here to deliver the mail. La la la, I'm the mailman.
He said it's the mailman. It's nighttime. There's no mail. I'm telling you, it's the wolf. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. He's gonna huff and puff and blow your house down, man. And he did. The wolf huffed and puffed and he blew the house down. Sticks all over the place. The two little pigs motored out as fast as they could. You've never seen two little legs move so fast. And that bad wolf, he followed them right to the third pig's house. Safe inside, the pigs told their brother about the wolf. The doorbell chimed. Ding dong. The third little pig used his security system to check who was outside.
Oh, little piggies, don't be rude. Let me in.
I don't think so, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin.
Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. Gotta say, I've had a pretty good track record so far tonight. I'm 2 for 2, just saying.
Very well, do what you wish. The wolf huffed and he puffed and nothing happened. Okay, it was the third house of the night. He could do this. He huffed and puffed and still there the house stood. It was very sturdy. The little pig buzzed through the intercom. How are you doing out there? I might have to call the police if you don't leave. The wolf gasped and gulped for air.
You gotta wait till I huff and puff and I'll blow your house.
The wolf fainted. The three little pigs cheered. Yay! The third pig called the authorities and he had them come and take the wolf away. The first two pigs apologized for poking fun at the third little pig, and they offered to pay rent if they could just stay with him for a little while. He told them, Mi casa es su casa, which in Spanish means, my house is your house. I think I mentioned that pig is pretty smart. And the three little pigs stayed in their big brick house together, and they lived happily ever after, and never ever heard from that big bad wolf again. The end.
Alright kids, get ready, it's fairy tale time. Once upon a time, that's what we old folks say when we're not sure of the date. But way back when, there was an old man who built puppets. The kind with strings attached to their arms and legs and heads, called marionettes actually. This man was a very lonely old man, and so he would build these puppets to keep him company. Pretty smart actually. Well, one day, this old man built a puppet so amazing that it actually started to move on its own.
Well, hi. Are you my papa?
I sure am, and you are Pinocchio. Beautiful. What a lovely way to end a story. But that's not the end, for you see, a traveling circus came into town that day, which was run by the big bad wolf. And this wolf had gotten into the business of convincing children to run away with him and perform in the circus. But it wasn't as fun as that sounds. The wolf made them walk on a tightrope, which was really scary, and swing on the trapeze, which made them really dizzy, and brush lions' manes, which was really dangerous. Worst of all, they had to clean up after the elephants when they did their business.
Sorry.
But Pinocchio didn't know about any of that. He just wanted to see the show. Well, that night, the old man gave Pinocchio some money and asked him to run to the store to buy some milk.
Okay, Papa.
But he was going to buy a ticket to the circus instead. And because it was a lie, his nose started to grow. Well then, Pinocchio went to the circus and had the time of his life. But he saw all the other children in the crowd eating popcorn and cotton candy, and he was sad that he couldn't eat anything because he was made of wood. So after the show, just as the first star began to sparkle in the sky, he made a wish.
Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I might turn into a real boy tonight.
Well, the big bad wolf saw Pinocchio and thought that a wooden boy would be a great circus act. And he can use that giant nose to spin plates on top of. So he put on an old dress from the circus costume trunk and walked over to Pinocchio.
So, you want to be a real boy, eh?
Wow, you heard my wish? Are you my fairy godmother?
I sure am. To be a real boy, all you have to do is run away from home and join the circus.
But Pinocchio didn't feel so good about that. He would miss his papa too much, and he knew his papa would miss him. In fact, the old man was probably wondering why he was taking so long to get that milk. I'm so thirsty. And besides, this fairy godmother looked a little odd.
Why are your hands so fuzzy? And why are your ears so big? And why are your teeth so sharp? Wait a second. You're the big bad wolf, aren't you?
Are you okay? What took so long? And then Pinocchio made the first real boy decision of his entire life. He told the truth.
I used the money to go to the circus. The big bad wolf tried to get me to run away, but I just couldn't leave you. I'm sorry, Papa.
It's okay, Pinocchio. I am disappointed, but you did the right thing. You came back and you told the truth, and you said you were sorry. And because Pinocchio did that, his wooden nose went back to normal size, and then it turned into a real nose. And his wooden head, it turned into a real head. And he turned into a real boy. The old man was so happy, and they decided to celebrate. And they would have had cookies, but they were still out of milk. So they ate popcorn and cotton candy instead. Delicious. And that's the end of the tale.
Once upon a time, there was a little boy named Terry. He was a bit of a terror. In fact, he was called Terry the Terror. He would kick and scream anytime he wanted something. At the toy store,
I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it.
At the ice cream shop,
I want more, now.
Even at the grocery store.
I don't want cereal. I want cookies, cookies, I want cookies.
And with everything he could have ever wanted at his fingertips, he was a pretty bored boy at that.
Bored.
Bored boys often get into trouble, and boy did Terry get into trouble. He would take cupcakes from the baker's window. He would let the chickens loose from old Mr. O'Brien's chicken farm. And worst of all, he would run up behind old Mr. Hackle and scream, "No!" Which didn't matter much because Mr. Hackle couldn't hear too well. Luckily for Terry, the townspeople were very patient people. The baker learned to make one extra cupcake every morning so that she wouldn't be short for the customers. Mr. O'Brien trained his chickens to come to his call so that if they got loose, they would come back. And Mr. Hackle still made Terry help him across the street. Life went on as usual, and as usual, Terry got bored. One day when he went out into the woods tearing leaves off trees and splashing in mud, Terry came up with an idea.
Hey, I have an idea. It's genius! Everyone will totally flip out, and I will laugh so hard! Oh, this is gonna be great!
The next morning, when everyone was getting ready for Terry to come tearing through town, he didn't show up. The baker said,
"That's weird. I have one extra cupcake today."
The farmer called for his chickens, but they were already there, staring at him. Mr. Hackle just stood by the corner waiting. Well, after an hour went by, people started to worry. And just then, Terry came running into town screaming,
"Wolf, wolf, wolf, wolf! Hey, everybody, there's a wolf! There's a wolf! Run for your lives! Wolf, 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 wolf! Help, 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 help! There's a wolf! Help!"
The baker quickly slammed the shutter so fast her cupcakes splattered everywhere. Old Mr. O'Brien ushered all his chickens inside of his maximum security chicken coop and locked the doors. Everyone in town scrambled to their houses and stores and locked them up tight, leaving Terry laughing in the town square.
You silly people! There's no wolf! You fell for it! Oh, that was almost too easy!
Everyone in the town was upset. Old Mr. O'Brien's chickens were so upset, they didn't lay eggs for 3 days. But Terry thought it was all extremely funny. After things got back to normal, Terry began to feel mischievous again.
Hey, I wonder if they would fall for it a second time. We'll find out.
And so the next morning, Terry called out from the woods.
Wolf! 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 Help! Help! Wolf! I mean, help!
The baker and old Mr. O'Brien squinted their eyes and looked off into the woods. And just then, Terry came limping out of the woods with his shirt torn and dirt all over his face. He was really going for a Daytime Emmy Award this time. Everyone began to panic because this time it had to be real. The baker slammed her cupcakes in the window. Old Man O'Brien cooped up his chickens. And everyone ran inside. Everyone except Terry, and well, except for Mr. Hackle, but that's just because he couldn't hear all the fuss.
Oh, you fools, you silly, silly people. There's no wolf. You fell for it again. Twice. That's 2. 2-0 me, you.
After a few days, things got back to normal. Terry wasn't allowed to go into town anymore. He was grounded for 3 whole weeks. One day, Terry was playing in the yard, and guess who showed up? A real live wolf.
Hello.
Wolf! 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 Help! Wolf!
A hungry wolf. That's me.
Wolf! Wolf! Oh no! Wolf! Real wolf! Real wolf!
In town, the baker heard Terry crying. Is that for real?
Oh, that's just Terry the Terror at it again. I'm not falling for that this time.
And old Mr. O'Brien heard Terry crying.
Don't worry, girls. It's just Terry the Terror at it again.
And Mr. Hackle, well, you guessed it. He didn't hear anything anyway. He didn't even look up from his crossword puzzle. The whole town ignored Terry yelling because they knew it must have been a trick. And then the wolf ate Terry in one bite.
That was a good little boy.
Luckily for Terry, the same wolf also ate Little Red Riding Hood's grandma, which turned out to be too much, and he threw them both up.
Wow! Oh, that is just wrong. That is just wrong. Who are you?
Terry ran home and told his parents, who had a hard time believing him. But one thing Terry knew for sure, he was going to be a very good boy for the rest of his life. The moral of the story is, don't trick people, especially when it comes to safety. Always tell the truth, don't hang around wolves, and don't scare chickens if you're hoping to have some eggs. The end.
Alright kids, here it is. Nursery rhyme time. First things first, meet the family. Porkymin the pig, Piggly the pig, and Alfonso the pig. Just finished college and eager to grow up. So the first one, Porkymin, he decides,
I'm gonna build a house and I really like straw because it's like soft, so yeah, I'm gonna do that or whatever.
And so he does. And he has this big, soft house that kind of sways with the breeze. Well, then the second pig, Piggly, he decides he's gonna move out too.
I like sticks. I'm gonna build a house out of them. I mean, trees are strong, so my house will be strong.
And so he does. And it's kind of vintage, you know? Got a little flavour of like Portland, but not like Main Street Portland. Kind of like an offbeat Portland, like one of the suburbs. Then Alfonso, the third pig, decides he's gonna move out too. So he says,
I looked at the schematics of most of the other houses, and it seems that brick is a very solid material. I will design my house like so many historic buildings before me, with brick.
Porkymin and Piggly think that this is not the smartest idea he's ever come up with.
You're never gonna finish that house. It's gonna take like a long time or whatever.
Yeah, it's gonna take like forever.
And it did take a while, but once it was done, the real test of strength came. You see, there was this traveling salesman, Mr. Wolf, who was actually a wolf.
Want to buy some things?
No, I have enough stuff.
But you don't have this stuff.
No, thank you, alright?
If you don't open this door, I'll blow your house down.
Try me.
And not only did the wolf blow his house down, because it was made of flimsy straw and whatnot, but he also blew down the stick house as well. Then he decided to pay Alfonso a visit.
Come on, pig. Buy us some nice things.
We don't want your things. Get out of here.
Yeah.
No. And besides, I'm going to blow your house down.
And he tried, but he just couldn't. And he got all faint in the head and fell down. And Porkymin, Piggly, and Alfonso lived happily ever after in 3 beautiful brick houses. Nothing to rhyme about, nope, just a story. Moral of the story, take your time, do things right, and it'll pay off in the end. And now for the story of the 3 little shapesters. Once upon a time, there were 3 little shapesters who had just grown up and were ready to live on their own. One shapester had an idea.
Let's build a house together so we have somewhere to live. I like that idea, Roundy.
But they couldn't decide on a shape for their house.
I think it should be a circle. I think it should be a triangle, like the Egyptians. I think it should be a rhombus.
They argued and argued until they decided to build 3 different houses.
I love my house. It's so round and circular.
Little pig, little pig.
There's no pigs here.
Oh yeah? Then who's speaking?
It's Roundy, the shapester.
Oh, a new neighbor. Fantastic. I wasn't that hungry anyway. I'm the I'm the circus wolf, and I'm here to share my circus tricks with the town people. It's been a little slow at the circus lately. Ta-da! Let me in so I can show you some circus tricks.
I don't think I should let you in.
Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow up an awesome balloon animal.
My house. My perfectly angular house.
Sorry. Been having a hard time at the circus getting people to watch.
I can walk on a tightrope, balance on a beach ball, even magic tricks.
I like magic. Me too.
Then watch this. Abracadabra. I figure, why not have a sturdy place to live?
Yay!
There's more where that came from. Click right here to see more tricks from the circus with these guys, the Shapesters.